The Premier League is back after the international break, and Shaka Hislop is joining me as we break down and look back at some of the more notable results today, Shaka. So let's have a look at them, and it does look very pretty for Liverpool and Chelsea. 5 wins in a row for both these teams, and now they sit at the top of the table, Shaka.
Yeah, Liverpool haven't fared well at Wembley. I expected more of a bounce back from Tottenham after a defeat against Watford. It didn't come, and truth be told, Liverpool dominated that game from the opening whistle. Had a goal ruled out after, 90 seconds, went 2 up, Spurs get 1 back, could have had a penalty in injury time. I think it was. I think the referee missed the call. But all that being said, Liverpool were by far the better of the 2 teams and deserved their 3 points. Arsenal go to St James's Park, a resolute Newcastle performance as you would expect, go 2 up, concede, and never really troubled in that one, get a good win, and things continue ticking for them. City win again, cruise in the park as you'd expect. Chelsea, another cruise in the park after going behind early on. That threw a little bit of a spanner in the works, but once they got going, once Eden Hazard got going, you see exactly how good they can be. A team that's, again, playing with smiles on their faces after what I thought was a disappointing last season. This is a Chelsea team that under Sarri looked back to their best. Still not as good as Manchester City. I think they're still trailing Liverpool in terms of pushing for the title, but they're a whole lot better than I expected them to be. And this is a team, for the most part, that have shown they can win the title. They did that 2 years ago. They're playing well. They're playing with smiles on their faces. Rule them out at your peril. Well,
let's talk about Manchester United. They also got a much-needed win, I would say, over Watford.
Yeah, and Watford, a physical and dominating performance. Certainly, end of the game against Spurs got them the 3 points. And this was a United team that was prepared for that tactic from the get-go, from the way Jose Mourinho set out. Fellaini sitting alongside Matic and Pogba. Fellaini was simply outstanding. At the same time, I thought the partnership between Lingard and Pogba worked wonderfully well. Both of them happy to sit deep. Both of them happy to get forward and played off of each other well. And I thought United looked as comfortable against, again, a very physical Watford team as you can possibly expect. Again, you see the value of David De Gea. Very good save off a deflection in the first half, and then that save at the death to preserve all 3 points. Shows the continued value to this team. And as nervy a finish as it was, again, you'd expect that. I thought it was a dominating Manchester United performance. Lukaku up front looked excellent again, and for all the criticism that this team has had to endure from the likes of me, I thought in a tricky tie, they looked more comfortable than the final scoreline probably suggests.
I was waiting to hear a complimentary Shaka Hislop on Manchester United, and that's exactly what we got. And I guess all smiles around for some of the top teams in England and in the Premier League. Continue tracking all the action this weekend here at ESPN FC. So Jurgen Klopp, they're very proud and complimentary of his team. Shaka going as far as saying that it's probably their best game of the season, or for sure it is their best game of the season. How do you see it?
I think Liverpool played well. What let them down was their front 3. Mo Salah, not as clinical as we've come to expect of him. At times, I thought Sadio Mane, with the final ball, made a poor decision. All that being said, the other aspects of Liverpool's game, they dominated pretty much from the opening whistle, where they had a goal ruled out. This is a ground that Liverpool don't ordinarily get a whole lot from, and I was expecting more of a response from Tottenham Hotspur after they lost 2 weeks ago in their last league game away to Watford. But it never came, and as much as the possession stats may favour Tottenham Hotspur, I thought this game was all about Liverpool. It could and should have been killed off a whole lot sooner. They kept Spurs in the game, almost made to rue that. A blown call, the difference between them taking 3 and 1. This front 3 that carried them to so much success last season, right now, not firing on all cylinders.
So not too perfect for Liverpool, but looking on the Spurs aspect now, since you're a goalkeeper, we do have a little goalkeeper chat. You did mention that Vaughan probably should have done a lot better in the first goal that they conceded. What did you make of his performance overall?
Overall, I thought he made some very good saves in the first and the second half. But when you concede the first goal as you do, there's no question that for me goes down to a goalkeeping error. Then the second goal, I don't really put that down to Michel Vorm, though, you know, the fact that it comes off the post and he has to react quickly, doesn't really get his hands on it, but he's right in front of his own goal, facing his own goal. I'm not sure how much he could have done. It doesn't look good on the back of the earlier error. Saying that, the other saves that he was called on to make, I thought he handled himself well and did everything that could be asked of him. But these games between competitors like this ordinarily and so often hinge on that first goal. And when you're to blame for the first goal, unfortunately, that takes all the spotlight away from everybody else and anything else you've done.
So now 2 points behind Barcelona, Shaka. Is the title race over? Surely it has to be. Come on, call it. I know you love these like early season calls, Shaka.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but basically it is.
Barcelona are going to win it.
So
don't even bother to back Real Madrid at this point. Barca are not going to drop any point. Barca were near to perfect last season. You've got Coutinho all season long. All you need is Luis Suarez to not be as bad as he was last year, and he was bad last year. And you just feel that Barcelona are going to run away with it again. Lionel Messi continues to be Lionel Messi, and in times of need, you're not quite sure who's going to step up for Real Madrid. As good as they've been as a team...
Gareth Bale. I picked this to be his season.
Is Gareth Bale Cristiano Ronaldo of this season? Is he able to step up and take that pressure on his shoulders in the same manner? I'm not quite sure. I think as a team, Real Madrid have probably progressed, but in those big moments, I'm not sure that they have that mercurial star that Barca does.
All right, well, let's talk about some other frustrations for Real Madrid, or just a point that frustrates you. Courtois, once again, getting the nod over Navas, Shaka. They don't deserve Navas.
No, they don't. Once Thibaut Courtois got the nod a couple of weeks ago, you felt it was now his to lose. For me, I thought, everybody knows how I feel about Keylor Navas. I think he's an incredible talent. And as far as I was aware, possession is 9/10 of the law. And Keylor Navas did nothing to deserve being left out. But it was a big call. We know about Real Madrid and their history and Galacticos, and eventually that pressure told on Lopetegui. He had to make the change. Courtois comes in. Unfortunately, that means no, unless something really, really bad happens, I don't see Keylor Navas getting back in, and that is not what Keylor Navas deserves.
Well, if you thought Hazard was doing so well, he was quite complimentary of Olivier Giroud. He says he's a target man, maybe the best in the world. He can hold the ball and we can go with him in deep. And when Alvaro is not playing, it's completely different. He's a different player than Olivier. Both have the quality, so we are happy to have good strikers in the team. Well, let's hear from Sarri.
I thought that Hazard was one of the best players in Europe. But now I am changing my mind because maybe he is the best now. And I think also that Hazard can improve more. Yesterday I said to him that for me you can score 40 goals. But you have to spend less energies far from the opposite goal, and you have to play in the last 25 meters.
All right, so good mood all around the Chelsea camp. Shaka, before we get into these two comments, let's start off with what Hazard had to say about Giroud, because I feel like our good friend Paul Mariner was just such a Debbie Downer on Giroud when he was at Arsenal, and now Hazard is just praising him left, right, and center.
What Olivier Giroud does, and differently, what's expected of him at Chelsea is different from what is expected of him for Arsenal and Chelsea. For Arsenal, he was expected to score goals. That's what he was there for, and ordinarily that's what you expect of your front man. But when you've got two players like Pedro and Eden Hazard in your lineup, as Chelsea do, the expectation for Olivier Giroud is a lot different. And what I thought he did very well against Cardiff is he pushed Cardiff on, stretched them defensively, and that opened space up for both Pedro and Eden Hazard. Yes, all the headlines will be about Eden Hazard, but when you have those two, operating in the kind of space that Giroud makes for them. It's hard to deny them both. Hazard got the hat-trick today, and yes, he will get the plaudits, but on the days that somehow you find an answer for Eden Hazard, trust me, Pedro will be there to do his work as well. So that's the difference for me in terms of Marner's own criticism for Olivier Giroud between Arsenal and what we're seeing from him now. He's still not going to get 20 goals, but he will allow the likes of Hazard, whether he can get 40 goals, as Sarri is saying, and Pedro to also get any double fingers.
Well, quickly, because Sarri did just say that once he thought, last season, that he's probably one of the best in Europe, and now he thinks he probably is the best.
Look, I understand where Sarri's coming from, I understand why he's saying that. It is his player after all, and it was Cardiff after all.
But that's the true champions. You've got to take these games by the neck.
Don't get me wrong. He is one of the best players in European football. There is a tier that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, they sit on. And then just below them, you've got Mbappe and Bale and Neymar.
And Hazard now.
Hazard is, I think, just outside of that. Oh. And this is no disrespect to Eden Hazard. These are some of the best players the world has ever seen. He's just outside of that. And certainly in English football, there are few players who can individually change a game, who can take a game by the scruff of the neck, and the opposition have little that they can do about it, like Eden Hazard. But as I say, there are those that are maybe just on a tier, just above. Hazard is close, but not there just yet.
So Manchester United get the 3 points on the road, and I feel like when we've been talking about Man United of late, we almost are waiting for another mess up, whether on or off the field, from Jose Mourinho. How much was this win needed?
It was needed and deserved from Manchester United against a Watford team, and I keep going back to that Spurs game. They were physical, they bullied Spurs and deserved the 3 points. But against this Manchester United, Fellaini in the starting lineup for obvious reasons. You've got Matic sitting in front of the back four as well. I thought Pogba had one of his better games as well in sitting in the midfield of Manchester United. Romelu Lukaku, again, outstanding. This was as good and as complete a Manchester United performance as we've seen. But again, David De Gea called on to make a save very late on. For all the good football that we saw from Manchester United, just failed to kill Watford off. That's my only criticism. Given some of the performances we've seen from Manchester United, that's a criticism you can take. That's a criticism I think Manchester United will improve on, will get better with. Difficult Watford team, and that shows in their performances. That shows the fact that they were 100% up to this point. So you come here, you take all 3 points. However it comes, you take it and you go home as quickly as possible.
And how much of a genius is Jose Mourinho for always trusting in Fellaini, huh? Welcome into Extra Time. Alexis Younes here with Shaka Hislop. Shaka he just can't wait to get home right now. But Shaka, we've got extra time to get to our favorite part. Let's start off with this question from Mog Stanley. He says, David De Gea is the best in the world. Duh. Who's second best, though?
Second best? I'm going to go with Ter Stegen.
Ooh.
And that'll raise a few eyebrows, especially after Manuel Neuer preferred him for Germany in the World Cup. But I think Ter Stegen has established himself as number 2 in the world for some time.
Why? Over Navas, over Courtois,
yeah,
over Neuer.
Mm-hmm. Neuer, let's remember, Neuer barely played last season.
Yes.
And somehow got the nod. Only Jurgen Löw could explain that. I can't. But during the course of last season, I think it's beyond doubt that Ter Stegen is number 2. And let's keep in mind that De Gea didn't even have a good World Cup himself. So my number 1 is a player who didn't have a good World Cup, and my number 2 is a player who didn't play the World Cup.
So that just goes to show you that Shaka doesn't know what he's talking about. So
no, those coaches.
Those coaches don't know.
You love to know what he's
Shaka has a bone to pick. This one's from Ollie, and he says, did you enjoy the save of Michael Owen's penalty at Fratton Park in the FA Cup for Portsmouth against Liverpool in 2004? It was a long trip home.
February 22nd, 2000, my 35th birthday.
Shaka
Broke my finger in the warm-up. I broke my finger in the warm-up and
excuses?
Didn't know.
Excuses. It sounds like excuses.
How's that an excuse? I saved a penalty, we won 1-0.
So you're just trying to show that you're a top man.
I'm just saying I remember the day well for all those reasons.
So you're saying you're Superman.
It was like...
S on your chest. By the way, that's Shaka's fantasy
I think,
league team name.
And it was a carnival Saturday.
Oh.
Trinidad Carnival was the Monday and Tuesday. I'm almost certain of it. No, I didn't. Because I was playing.
But you could have left after.
I've
seen you leave after.
It was in the middle of the season. I broke my finger the Monday, Carnival Monday. The doctor told me I broke my finger. And I'd have to be out, right? He said 3 weeks. Again, just to show my manliness. I was not out. I didn't miss a single game. Despite the doctor's orders.
Super Shaka.
That's how manly I
Super Shaka
was.
We are all just mere mortals in comparison to this man. All right, let's move on now to Jaro. He says, Leon Bailey, I suppose, and Chelsea, is this something he should pursue right now while Hazard and co are still there?
No.
How long will Hazard be there? That's the question.
I think Hazard is going to be there for a while. And he's playing well. I think he's enjoying his football. And I felt that if Hazard was leaving Chelsea anytime soon, it would have been someone just gone. It hasn't happened. Leon Bailey enjoying life in Germany, and let that continue. There's no rush to get to Chelsea, so you could say that Eden Hazard is your teammate. If you aren't playing, if you aren't learning and growing in the game, leave Bailey where he is. As of right now, I don't see Hazard moving.
We love to just bring things a little forward too quickly sometimes, I think. But hey, I mean, when you're a bright star, you might want to play or swim with the big fish soon. This one from Clark Kent. Ooh, Superman, is that you? I thought this was Superman.
What?
See what I did there?
No.
All right, he says Trinidad's national team, Trinidad and Tobago, versus Jamaica's national team, present day. Who wins? Jamaica, duh. Thank you guys for your questions. This has been extra time.
That game would have to be in Trinidad and Tobago. Because given the plight of the Trinidad and Tobago women who are due to pay CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, yet still don't have a coach, no camp, no idea when they'll be leaving the country. Transfer that to Trinidad's men. If the game is in Trinidad, I'm not sure we can make it. We'll have to default.
But even in Trinidad, the Reggae Boys are going to win anyway. So Trinidad and Tobago are like our little brothers. It's like big brother, little brother syndrome. We got to the World Cup first. They decided to follow. You know, it's
Trinidad's 06 team against Jamaica 98.
Shaka.
Trinidad 06.
Shaka.
Every single
Jamaica
time.
98. End of story.
Trinidad 06
End
team.
of story. Robbie Earl would score on you any day, Shaka.
We will play with 4 players and still beat you.
With 4 players and still beat us?
A goalie, a defender, a midfielder, and a striker, and we'll still win.
I just want to know what you had for lunch.
That's all we need.
Everybody scoring against Shaka. Everybody in Jamaica's team from the 98 World Cup scoring against
Robbie
Shaka.
Earl scoring on me.
Robbie Earl scoring on you.
Ever.
I will put some money on that one.
Never
Anyway.
in history.
Thank you so much, Shaka.
More chance of
It's
playing
nice
a
to know that I have
shirt.
won this argument, but make sure to tune into our show. Remember, we are on
You're ignoring
7
my pink shirt
days
comment?
a week on
Ignoring my pink
Yes,
shirt
sir.
comment, that's what it is?
Real men are pink.
All right.